coming out of their shell, sharing their experiences. And I also just want to say that these conversations are people sharing from their own experiences, and you take what works for you and you apply what makes sense for you, and what doesn't, you just let go of it, because that's what the truth is, Dineo. The truth is based on one's experience, and effect is something that has been tested and tried over time. And we know when we speak of issues of spirituality, is experience. It is truth. It's my truth. It's me sharing from my own experiences. And tonight we want to be fed from your cup, divine feminine woman, because that's how I see you. With all these titles that I've said, because I don't think they actually divine, they define the divinity that you're in, because every interaction I have with you, and as you speak, I'm like, huh? Wow. Oh my God. And I'm not the only one, because when people said, please have a stream with Dineo, I could, because I also actually started loving Ask a Man, because every time you spoke, I felt like there was something beyond just Dineo speaking. There was a force, there was a divinity that was channeling healing messages. I've once spoken to you and I said to you, you heal through your words, you heal through your words. And for me, what defines divinity is actually being able to step into the power of beingness and sharing that beingness.
Look, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the light. There we go. I think I found the light. Kelebohaman, thank you so much. I was saying before we got cut off, Genetwek, that divineness is such a precious, special, if I may say, commodity, because it is the purity of self-knowledge. Divineness is like, for me, the highest level of qualification any man or woman can have, which is a God-given and self-given doctorate in self-mastery. That is when I believe that when you have truly mastered the knowledge of self, you tap into that divinity. You tap into that purity, like you're saying. Uti, what we all go through, my truth is my truth. Reality is relative, Gogo. Reality is so relative. We could be sharing this moment together and having this Insta live together, and everyone else that's watching along with us. But how we leave this point and go and share our narrative with other people, it's so relative. It's so relative, and you can't take away that truth from the one person because they experienced it differently from another. So I'm excited to be chatting with you. I'm excited to be talking to you and, our followers together, just to kind of remind ourselves of the power vested in us, particularly during these dark times where it's so easy to forget, where it's so easy to ignore what it is that you are called to do because of all of these restrictions, and remind ourselves to come alive. We are being buried right now, but let's not forget that we are seeds. And every time we are buried in trouble, every time we are buried in a situation that we don't understand, it is an opportunity for us to grow even more. There was a pastor, I can't remember, one time I was at church and he was giving a sermon and he says, when you reach a dead end and a decision needs to be made, there's only one decision you can make, a decision to go deeper. And where do seeds go to grow? They go deeper. They have to go deeper. Where do roots go to nourish plants? They go deeper. You either go deeper in negativity or you go deeper in positivity. You can't go anywhere else but deeper. And the decision you make thereafter, like now, we've decided that we're going to have this live. We can only go deeper. We can only go deeper. We can't stay shallow. We can't, by the end of this conversation, stay where it started. Something by the end of it would have triggered us to say, yo, but I am definitely planted and I must nurture myself during this time and grow. You have to go deeper. Whether it's deeper into positivity or deeper into negativity, go deeper. So thank you for the invite. I'm ready to go deeper with you.
I'm ready to go deeper with you because you've already actually set the tone of depth. And I love how you spoke, because I also believe in that we are not actually even being buried, we're being planted. But it's scary, you know.
It's very
and
scary.
I like, because you have used your own life experiences as showing us what is possible when we immerse ourselves in the depth of understanding that we are seeds that are being planted for
Hmm.
bigger and
Hmm.
greater manifestation, but underground. Because all of us, I believe, we are called, you know, all of us are here
Hmm.
because we need to be manifesting something to make the
Hmm.
world a better place. And irrespective of how we then get initiated towards those callings, because the life experiences and challenges that we encounter are initiations to awaken us to the bigger calling of why we are here at this time.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
because it's Wednesday, and I love to, you know, I refer to the scripture because I don't relate to the Bible as as the ultimate truth, but I relate to it as some truth of people's experiences of God. That's how I
Hmm.
relate to it. And there's a scripture that says, "I knew you before you were born in your mother's womb. I blessed you and I sanctified you, and I made you a prophet of the nation." And I always say to people, the greater the calling, the deeper the challenges and the deeper the
Hmm.
pain.
Hmm.
And you
Hmm.
one person who has been quite explicit in their way of, you are authentic in your life is not an act, you know. So even when
Hmm.
you do your reality is your reality, because you understand that your story is somebody else's story. Your pain can actually be able to help somebody else navigate that pain. So
Hmm.
let's speak about why is it difficult, because the deeper we go, it's dark. We are in the belly
Hmm.
of darkness where we were in our mother's wombs. It's
Hmm.
scary, but because now we are grown adults, we're not those fetuses and those embryos that were open to all the possibilities of what life is bringing to us. What is
Hmm.
it from your own experience do you think we are fearful of, to go into the dark where greatness is being birthed, where greatness is being crafted? Because every great thing starts in that deeper level, in the dark. Gold is dug out of the darkness. Diamonds, all these resources that we can appreciate come from that darkness. What is it, based on your own experiences, that you feel like people are afraid to go there? Because the minute people are being invited to go there by divinity, they want to run. And they run,
Hmm.
and then in running they can never really be in alignment with why they are here.
Yeah, you know what? I love this question. I love this question. And as you're actually asking me, I'm actually making notes. The first answer that came to me when you said, "What is it that we're afraid of?" We're afraid of rejection. I truly believe that the first fear we encounter when having to present our authentic selves, when having to present our thoughts, when having to present our nature, our character, when having to present our desires, even when having to kneel down and pray, or kneel down, opahle opase, wantlhalohanya, you are
Mm,
afraid of rejection. We are afraid of people looking at us and not appreciating what we have to offer. Because if you're true to yourself, I mean, I was writing here that you spoke about, diamonds and such. Even those natural resources, even those diamonds, when they are first dug up out of the soil, they are not presented as beautiful as they may be when they are refined and polished. So even they, in human form, I would assume, would have a fear of being rejected for being met in a chapter of their life when they are covered in soil and dirty and not as refined. So we are generally just afraid of rejection. The beginning of a relationship, you're afraid of rejection. The beginning of a work opportunity, you're afraid of rejection. The beginning of realizing that you are born for a greater purpose and a greater potential, you're afraid of rejection. Hence, majority of us don't truly live up to our truest potential because we then tend to tell ourselves that we are not worthy. What will people say? What if
mhm,
people laugh at me? So what if people laugh? So what if people laugh? The biggest thing about my journey has been that people have been laughing at me for the longest time. People have been
mm,
judging for the longest time. But I would rather you judge me for the authenticity that I have to put on the table than you judge me for a facade that I'm putting out to the world. The hardest thing to do in life is to be yourself. It's so
oof,
easy to be anybody else. That is why
no,
during this time, majority of us are finding solitude in TikTok. If you think about TikTok, it offers you an opportunity to not have to be yourself, to not have to speak the words you truly want to speak, to not have to speak the thoughts that you truly want to think. Majority of us are using TikTok to take on the words of other people that have brought humor and light and connected to people in a way that has made them laugh. And we just don't want to be, for a moment, the selves that we have to deal with during this time, because we are afraid of even being rejected by ourselves.
Shoo.
We're afraid of what solitude brings. When you go deeper, you isolate to elevate. When
Wow.
you are buried and you go deep, it's like the cocoon to a butterfly. Before a butterfly is made into this beautiful thing that just colors up the sky, when it flaps its wings and makes the gardens, and when it sits on a rose or a flower, makes that rose seem even more attractive, is that it has gone through a darkness. It has gone through a depth of character definement. It has gone through a process of refinement, of being changed. And it needs to be brave enough to come out of the cocoon and say, here I am. And the minute you come out and you present yourself and you're consistent in the presentation of self, you then start to realize it's actually not a bad idea to be myself. I literally had nothing much to fear from the beginning. So natural resources, as we are gems created by our Father, protected by Abaphansi, our angels, chosen ones, the ones that were